As somebody wrongs you, good to get an apology out of them is the 194 Morning Playhouse. And sometimes just somebody simply saying to you, I'm sorry, even if you're super hot about it, it does help.
It helps so much just for them to own up to them hurting your feelings or own up to whatever they did. I just want to hear that I'm sorry.
Well, and you're generally speaking often admitting some wrong then, too.
Yes.
And that kind of closes things. Oh, I'm sorry, too. And you kiss and you make up and you're done or whatever. Everybody shakes hands and goes home happy. Well, there's somebody that was fighting with their significant other, and they went on to Reddit to pose a question because they often get this apology from their spouse, and that is one over text message. And what she was wondering is that less meaningful? Is that not a real apology? Should she even be accepting that because he's texting it? And she describes that often the infraction, whatever they're fighting about, happens in person. And then like later, if not even the next day, she'll get the oh, I'm so sorry. Does that not have as much meaning than if he were to in person or even wait till he saw her again if it was later the next day, say it in person?
So I would prefer the in-person apology. However, I wouldn't say it's less meaningful. I think the text apology, especially if it's the next day, they've had time to think about it. They don't like that you two are in that fight or whatever, and they just want things to go back to normal. So that they might not even mean it as much. I hate that. But at least they're still apologizing and they're owning up to it because they don't like how the situation is.
Well, I think it's a valid Playhouse poll for sure. And you can call or text 237-HITS, and we won't consider your comment any less meaningful if you text it. I think in this day and age, for me, that's just how a lot of people communicate now. And especially if you're not in the same place, that's just how you would get it. I think you're overthinking this.
But if it's every time.
They've never said I'm sorry to you in person.
That's weird.
Maybe that's odd, sure.
But I don't have an issue with every now and then or the next day. You're both mad as you're going to bed. The next day they send you okay, I'm sorry about this. And then you're all better. Okay, I'm happy with that.
I would give them the double free pass if then the next time you are in the same physical space, they're like, hey, yeah, sorry again about that.
Exactly.
And it maybe doesn't have to be as serious an apology, but at least it's like some in-person something that acknowledges that there was an activity going on that was a problem.
I like if you're going to do the text apology, the next time you see him in person, just, I want to bring it up again. I really am sorry about that. And I'm happy we're moving past it.
Is that a less meaningful apology? Call text 237-HITS, okay? The debate in the 194 Morning Playhouse, is it less meaningful to get a texted apology from somebody? Somebody brought that up on Reddit, and they're having a healthy debate about it, and it seems like a lot of people would prefer the in-person apology from what I'm reading here anyway, but what are you seeing as far as like the text club goes?
I mean, someone said as long as they're apologizing, I'm happy. My ex would never apologize. Another person said it never hurts to receive communication, especially if that communication is through text. You're still getting to it. But if you do want to do what Zero said, send the text and then apologize in person, that would be good as well.
And you thinking that's a less meaningful apology or not?
Definitely think it's a half-ass kind of apology. I think it's so much better to do it in person or to call someone. It's too easy. It's too easy to text.
So does it have to be in person, or can you at least pick up the phone and be like, hey, I'm going to talk to you, use my voice, an actual phone call?
Even a phone call is so much better than a text. Like a text is really, anybody can do that. Hide behind that screen.
So do you like that one? You at least pick it, you call,
No.
hit call.
I would have call be last. I would rather in person, over text, or call.
Yeah, who likes talking on the phone?
I don't like talking on the phone. That's the thing. If you're going to apologize on the phone, do it over text, not over calling. Because if I see you calling me, I'm mad at you already, right?
True.
Why are you calling? Hello?
Maybe if you send the text and you get left on red and you're having like a panic attack that they're not responding to you, maybe then you call.
I still would just show up in person.
Wait in person.
Yeah.
Hey, way to respond. Thanks for not responding to my apology, you jerk.
No.
And then start a new
then
fight.
You have to apologize.
And texted apologies and meaningless.
I would not accept an apology. Well, I would. I would accept an apology via text. I've texted people I mean, there's this day and age, you can't just be calling up people. No one makes a phone call anymore. So, the text is a cross between a phone call and an email.
So generally speaking, you're totally cool with a text. Hey, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm cool with it. Maybe they're so mad they don't want to they don't want to talk to you.
Sure.
At least if you text the apology, they can read it, they can look at it again. I don't think it's so bad.
It might end things sooner if you're willing to take a texted apology. Some people, I think it's maybe easier for them to eat that humble pie and cross that road if they're able to send it first.
And I think texting it, you can kind of get all the words out that you want. It's you're kind of making that apology perfect. Someone did say an apology that addresses everything is better than no apology. It's all about how it's said. Someone else said, I think either is fine as long as it's sincere and you're specific about what you're taking accountability for in the apology. And someone else said the message is important. As long as you're not coming up with excuses to justify yourself to make you feel better about it, then I'll accept either apology.
You know what? We had completely omitted the best kind of apology.
What apology?
One that comes with presents.
That's a good apology.
I'm so sorry. Here's a present. You just kind of feed the bear a little bit.
By the love.